Hey, I'm hanging out with Gus G today from Ozzy Osbourne and Firewind. Gus, what's happening, my friend?
Hey man, good.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for having me over. Thanks.
You bet, man. So we're going to start off with the question that you've probably been asked a million times and you're sick of answering it, but we're going to ask you anyway. So how did you get the gig, man?
Yeah, it was actually very unexpected. I got an email from the management company, from Ozzy's management, about a year and a half ago, or a couple of years now, and they just asked me if I was interested to come down and and audition. That was it, really. I was, I didn't, you don't expect an email like that.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, at that point I thought, of course I got nothing to lose, man. So I learned a bunch of songs, and I just flew to LA and did the audition, and it went very well.
Yeah. So I mean, how'd it go? I mean, you went in, you jammed, and you get the nod, and
yeah,
did you?
I went in
back for a few more rehearsals, or?
I did. I got in. I jammed with a band only like for a couple of hours first, just to kind of like get warmed up, and then Ozzy came down, and then we played all together, and they told me, after the audition, they asked me if I wanted to come back and do an event with him, like a gig, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what songs did you guys play?
At the audition,
yeah,
it was Bark at the Moon, Crazy Train, Suicide Solution, I Don't Know, and Paranoid.
Gotcha.
I think. Yeah.
Had you learned any of this stuff prior to being asked to come down? I mean, just like, did you know, like in the past, maybe when you were growing up?
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, of course, of course. I grew up with that stuff. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
So now you look over and there's actually Ozzy singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you're playing Paranoid, and then the singer. It's not like you're not in a cover band. It's actually Ozzy Osbourne singing it.
How cool is that, man? That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. So how difficult was it to learn the different guys, Randy, Jake, Zach? I mean, what was that like?
I wouldn't use the word difficult, because to me it was kind of like going back to school, and kind of like relearning everything, because I grew up with that stuff, and I was it's a school of guitar that I'm coming from, so for me it was like I come from the traditional heavy metal school of guitar, so I found it very exciting, actually, that I was kind of like, I went on YouTube and did all my research, not only from the records, but I went, now there's all these bootlegs online and stuff, so I got to hear how each guy did their own version from various tours, like from bad recordings that's all that leaked online to TV shows to everything, so it was a very nice procedure for me to relearn all that stuff.
I saw the thing that you did for Guitar World where you were talking about when you were learning Bark at the Moon. I saw a video and Jake actually did the chord differently than the way it's always transcribed.
Yeah, exactly. He was using, well, Jake was very weird in the sense that he was using all these crazy shapes,
Right.
He even did chords with his thumb on the neck.
I remember seeing him do that.
Yeah, so he was very unique, and then with all those with all that stuff, and yeah. I that was very cool to go back and check that out again.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool when I saw that you had actually dug that up and found it and discovered it.
Yeah,
and,
really I did my homework.
Better than everybody else had been doing it. So that's pretty awesome. So the next question is, I noticed you didn't do any writing on the album.
Yeah, I joined the kind of like at the 11th hour, so to speak. Like everything was done. They just needed a guitar player to go down and play. They didn't have any leads. They had some riffs that Kevin wrote, Kevin Churko, the producer, but they wanted somebody that to go there and make it more guitar oriented, so that was my job, and it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah. And what about the next CD? Are they talks about that already, and will you write?
Well, there's talks, lots of things up in the air right now. I've done a bunch of riffs, a bunch of demos on my own, and also with the guys, with the rest of the band, and there's ideas about doing another record, but you never know. I mean, right now we're kind of like in the middle of a world tour, so you never know what's gonna be like.
Too early to tell.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to see that, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd love to do another one, of course.
So tell us about your new guitar. You got a signature guitar?
Yes, I have a new guitar from ESP. It's called the Eclipse. Usually I play these random star, like weird shaped guitars.
Takasaki.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So, but now I did like a Les Paul style guitar, which has a pretty cool graphic, very unusual. So, and also it also features the rest of the specs that I have from my Random Star. So it's kind of like a combination on the specs.
So what are some of the specs? Does it have to do with like fret size, pickups, things like that, or wood?
All these things, yeah, wood. For example, I use rosewood fingerboard.
Okay.
And I have this flame inlays, and I use Duncan Blackouts active pickups. I recently got turned on to them. Great pickups. What else? And
Do you have a specific fret size that you like?
I think I use the extra jumbo.
Okay,
Yeah.
big ones.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah,
Us,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
those, man. All right, so tell us about the new pedal. You have a pedal with Black Star?
Yeah, yeah. It's called Black Fire. It's like a dual pedal. It's based on the dual pedal they had.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is really is more like it has more of a metal sound. It's just strictly for heavy metal players.
Okay.
It's not like crunch and high gain. It's more like it starts from really high gain and it
Okay.
goes up to kind of like well the second it has two channels, the Fire and the Fury channel.
Okay.
And the Fire channel is the kind of like a for rhythm stuff, like very high gain stuff, and then the Fury is kind of like a lead sound, kind of like a compressed thing when when you use a overdrive box to kind of like compress
Right.
the sound and add more sustain. That's what it is.
Okay, so it's an overdrive, not a distortion.
It's
Or can
it's
be
an
used both
overdrive.
ways.
It's an overdrive added to the distortion.
Okay.
It's strictly for lead.
Gotcha.
So you kind of like having it in a box like your rhythm and lead tone.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So tell us about your Rock House DVDs.
Yep. I hooked up with those guys a couple of years back, and we did a thing, a DVD program with a bunch of lessons, which was a lot of stuff from the Firewind records, and because a lot of people have been asking me how about transcriptions and tablatures of all these songs, and I thought it would be cool to include it,
Yeah.
all this in the DVD. But also, I wanted to explain a lot of stuff about the guitar in general, like how I view scales and how I connect shapes and how I create chords, and
Gotcha.
kind of like that. It's the title sums it up. Lead and rhythm techniques.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of theory knowledge? Or did you study that sort of stuff a lot, or?
I did, I'm not really, Mr. Theory or Mr. Harmony. I did have,
Right.
I did go to a
Right.
conservatory, but that was a long, long time ago. I don't remember most of it, but I do think that theory and harmony is important. That you are aware of what
Right.
you are playing and what you're doing on the guitar.
Right. So you recommend all the young guys to.
I
you gotta
recommend.
learn it.
Yeah.
Heard it here.
It can only help, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna sit down and write charts or
Right,
anything,
right.
But it's good that that this is a minor scale that I'm playing right now, or this is this type mode, or
Right.
this,
Yeah. So you understand how chords
To
work with your scales.
Exactly,
And,
yeah.
and all that good stuff. Yeah. Right on. All right. So how do you manage time between Ozzy and Firewind?
Actually, I don't know. I just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I released recently a new Firewind album a couple of months ago, but the thing is that I had that already in the can before
Yeah.
the Ozzy recordings took place, because I was working on it before I even joined Ozzy. So we completed that album and we put it out somewhere in the middle of the Ozzy World Tour, and we've been doing some gigs here and there, but we won't be going out and doing an extensive tour right now because
Right.
I have to complete the Ozzy tour.
Gotcha.
But once that is done, we're gonna go back out
Gotcha.
and
So
do
you
a
get
proper
home
work.
and then go right back out.
Yes, exactly. So it's gonna be
Oh, that's pretty cool.
unstoppable
Yeah.
touring for me for another
Right
couple
on,
of years.
Right on. All right. Well, I guess the last question is, how are the fans treating you?
They've been really good to me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected the worst, and I've only
I've
seen.
heard stories.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
About past guitar players.
Exactly,
you know.
me too. So I was scared at the beginning, but they've been very nice to me. They really embraced me as as a guy of the family, and I really thank everybody for that.
Right. Awesome. So, any advice for up and coming guitarists?
I don't know. Just keep practicing and stay true to yourself and believe in your music.
Awesome. Thanks, Gus. We appreciate
Thanks,
your
man.
time, man.
Thank you.